All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, due to the time differences. I hope everyone and their families are doing well. Today, I'm with my lovely Karen, everything brother-in-law, big man. I call him big man because that's what he is. He's like, he does almost everything. I don't even know what my big man cannot do. But he is human, so he also needs to have breaks. Today is my uh, lovely husband's Chiamieje's birthday. So before Big Man and I start having any type of discussion, I'm going to play happy birthday song for Kay. Kay, where's the song? Oh my goodness. The DJ supposed to be like, the minute I say he's supposed to let rip of the birthday song. Let me share this as he's getting ready to um so we can have friends and families join us. Yeah, birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Oh Lord, big man, I can't see myself. Let me find it from here. Oh, where is this thing? Okay, here we go. Okay, do you see me? Do you see me? Can you go because I don't see myself? Birthday, happy birthday. Oh, I see me now. I was about to say, where am I? Birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Hey, birthday, happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day. Happy birthday. We dropping the phone? Happy blessed, joyous birthday, honey. Hey, big man, today is going to be awesome today. Yes, we're going to celebrate Sunday, no work. So I can drink wine, right? All right. Hey, DJ, my name come for my let the music. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Happy birthday. Enjoy your day. Big man,
Yes,
welcome.
it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm blessed. I woke up today.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so happy that you were able to join me today. And
Well,
hopefully I will have you more every now and then.
no, that's fine. That's fine. I am a man of my word. When I say that I'm available and I can do it on this particular day, I'm going to make myself available to do.
Yes, you sure are, because you don't know how excited I have been counting the days to today.
No, I was. Yeah, I just like I said. I wasn't. I'm up early in the mornings. I wasn't planning on reneging on you. I just like I said, I'm a man of my word, and when I make it my business, to be there for you, I'm here.
Most definitely. We welcome everyone for joining us. So, big man, before we start with any type of discussion, today's discussion is like, I call it a family affair freestyle talk, right? And
That's
we're going to be talking about different things, because it will give us room to kind of expand and discuss a lot of things without being limited,
no.
just sticking with one thing. But before we start, can you briefly, tell the viewers and listeners, a little bit about you?
Well, I'm pretty much a jack of all trades. When I say that, I first started out, as an educator. I was an educator for about 12 years, and then I transitioned, over to those who needed my help just a little bit more. So I started working with children on the spectrum for some time, on the autism spectrum, and then I advanced up to the older children on the autism spectrum. Then I started working, in the human service industry, by helping those at a residential treatment center, you
Yeah.
know. Now, I work in mental health. I help those, in the whole realm, all realms of mental health, whether it's, their, everyday, living, whether it's those elements, of depression, anxiety, whether those who are sexually inept, every realm and every aspect of mental health,
You
you know,
there?
that's what I do. So I'm the counselor. I'm the all around counselor and therapist and the whole 9 yards.
Ooh, and I hear that you a good massager too.
Yeah, I do that too. That's actually, it's funny because that you mentioned that because that was, during my college careers, I got my license in bartending and masseuse as well, but it's so funny, even though it expired long ago, I still know how to make drinks and I still know how to give good massages.
Well, well, well. So if anyone needs massager, wow, that's incredible. And you a mentor as well. Did you
Yes.
mention that?
Well, one of the things because that's something that I don't charge. I do that free of charge. I mentor a lot of people. I offer a lot of advice. I edit papers. I help graduate students and college students, get A's, in
That's
the
right.
realm of like English. So those are like a lot of little side things, that I do. I don't charge, overwhelming amounts, for that. A lot of the times I do that pro bono,
Mhm.
and so yeah, but yeah, mentoring is just something that I naturally do, and it's everyone. It's not just children, it's not just teenagers, it's not just couples, it's not just families. It's like I offer mentorship to everyone, anyone that's in need, particularly those who are close to my heart.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, Obapa, Sister Mimi Mensah, welcome and thank you so very much. That's right. And Big Man, he's my brother-in-law now, but we've been friends for a long time.
Yes.
And he's my mentor. Um, we started out as me training him and then him becoming a supervisor, like because I was like more like I didn't want to like step outside my comfort zone. And he's someone who like pushed me and he was like, "You crazy? You gotta stop. You need to step outside." So he really truly pushed me, and that's where I gave him the best nickname ever, Big Man. So, and he loves it. I mean, like sometimes people be like, "Who's Big Man?" This is Big Man because he does like almost anything. Sometimes I feel like he's Superman. Like in I have been in situations working with him as a co-worker and working with him as a manager, and then working with him um when we both became a manager after he pushed me to the next level. It's been like a pleasure working with him, and now we working in different fields, well the same field but like different places, so we don't get to like hang out. Have He will have his coffee, I'll have my chocolate.
Yeah,
Yeah, my
I miss those days. I miss
I'm
those days.
telling you. And then my cream cheese bagel, and
Mhm.
like incredible. So it's like, when I'm feeling a bit stretched out and feeling down, he's like, his phone call comes in, I'll call him, and just talking to him, he'll be able to like shift my mood. So it's like, he is someone that I really look up to, and I am so honored to have him here today. And you guys are going to witness what I'm talking about. He's not going to say much today because we're only going to be on for an hour and a half, but you guys are going to get a lot of information from Big Man. So, Big Man, welcome again. Let
Thank
me acknowledge friends and family who has joined. So, and then we will start the discussion. Sister Mimi says, "Great job, thank you, Sister Mimi Obapa." Oh, Sister Sage, yeah, welcome. Sister Sage Williams says, "Greetings, Sister Adwoa Odo, Big Man, and the beautiful people aboard." Uh,
It's a pleasure.
Greetings to you as well. Oh, Samimi, thank you. Oh, bless him. Yes, bless him for sure. Yes. Sister Shyla Amajo, as I'm saying, thank you. And happy Sunday to you as well. Brother Roger, long time. Yes, it has been long time, and welcome. And as you guys come on, please wish K Chamia J happy birthday. Today is his birthday. So let's celebrate him also, because when you so alive, each year you have to celebrate because not everyone has been able to wake up this morning. So it's always we need to celebrate our life every single day. But there is one special day that we cannot miss out on that. All right, so Big Man, um, I wanted to thank you for coming, but let's just start with this freestyle. I call it Family Affair Freestyle Talk, so we can go
I'm
different,
with you.
yes, different areas. I wanted to start off with, I want to get your thoughts on with domestic violence and financial abuse. What can you tell us, about it? Because I know you have dealt with instances regarding to such things.
Well, domestic violence is, one of those twofold things. When I say twofold, you have the abuser, and you have, those who are being abused. Let's start, with those who are being abused.
Mhm.
In a lot of circumstances, you have a lot of folks who are in relationships, and it's sort of like that Stockholm syndrome. It's like that even though they're being abused, they're still connected to the one that they love.
That's right.
They have, that connection stems from, a history of being with this person for a long period of time. That connection, stems on, values. If you're married to this person and your culture says that, marriage is something that you don't give up on, that you stick it out, no matter what, and so those are the values of just keep that person connected, to this person. And at the same time, they succumb, to that abuse, and that abuse is repetitive. It comes in all levels. It comes in the sense of verbal abuse. Verbal abuse is just as harmful and just as threatening as the actual physical abuse. And then you have the physical abuse. The physical abuse comes in all forms. It comes in the forms of beat down. It comes in the form of sex when you don't want to give up sex, or when you're not in the mood for sex. It's being, taken advantage of, in ways that are just insurmountable. It's almost like, for a female, it's almost like being pimped out. It's like every
Mm.
money, every dollar that you bring into the household has to go over to your spouse or your boyfriend or
My
that
gosh.
person who's abusing you, and you really have no life. It's not too far. Being an abused victim is not too far from being a slave. You
Oh,
understand? And because you have no control of your not life, you don't have any control of your physical life, you don't have any control of your emotional life, you don't have any control of your financial life. It's abuse that comes in all forms, and it's just ugly, really, really for that person who's being abused. Now, at the same time, you have the abuser. The abuser is definitely on an ego trip, and they feel, that they're untouchable, and they have this dominant mentality, this mentality to control someone. Usually that stems from the fact that somewhere along the lines in their lives, maybe in their early childhood, something happened to them to
mm,
where they were abused and they were controlled or whatever. And so now it's their way of thinking, it's their frame of mind. Maybe they were bullied, when they were growing up. And so now they become the bully.
mm.
Now they become the abuser. Now they become the aggressive. It's like, shit, it was done to me, so now I'm just going to do it. It's really, really ugly, from all forms. One of the things, that I recommend, particularly for those people who are being abused, is to get out.
As early as possible.
You have to get out, because it escalates and it escalates and it escalates and it escalates to the point of death.
Mm,
you
mm,
know
mm.
we have recently witnessed something that I was just at work talking about, with a Nigerian friend of mine, about the gospel singer, the lovely,
Yes, Osinachi.
who was just, recently killed, by her spouse, and
Yes.
the unsurmountable, just control over her life, this person taken, and to the
Mm,
point of death. So, I do recommend, that you get out and get out as quickly as you can. Don't be afraid to step out. Don't be afraid to make it on your own. Don't be afraid to just simply do for you.
that's
And the reason being, because would you rather be dead?
No, but big man, in some instances, some people will speculate and assume and talk in terms of like the victims, they feel like because most of the time the abuser will isolate all their loved ones away from them, so they become their everything. Even though they're the abuser, being a narcissist and everything, they become the savior at the same time. So the victims would think to themselves, well, if I stay with him and if I do the right things, he's not gonna kill me because he loves me. That's why, and I'm the cause of him beating on me, raping me, sexually assaulting me, or like financially abusing me, even when I'm the breadwinner. So it's like, what do you say in regards to that? Because
Well, this is remember, when I one of the things that I mentioned when I first started talking, one of the form of abuse is psychological abuse.
that's right.
The psychological control. That's the hold, that this person have on you. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? That hold of, number one, isolating you strictly for themselves. You
That's
know,
right.
control leads to that psychological abuse. That Stockholm syndrome. That Stockholm syndrome is, okay, my abuser is doing this to me and my abuser is doing that to me. You understand what I'm saying? But I love them above all else. You understand what I'm saying? That's the Stockholm syndrome. It happens to a lot of people who are kidnapped and held against their will for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. They're so used to being under the guise and control of their kidnapper that now when it's time for them, to be separated and to be free of that, they still have this innate, connection, to their abuser. That's the psychological control. Look, the bottom line is that there's a lot of support mechanisms to help counter that and to flip that psychological control, but you have to free yourself and you have to rid yourself of your abuser, and then we can start to work on the psychological, help and support that you need. That psychological support, depending upon where you are, can come from therapists, counselors, it can come from family members, it can come from so many of people who really don't know, that your abuse is at this particular level. But you can bet your sweet behind that once they find out that you're under that type of control, that they're going to extend and flourish you with all the support that's necessary to separate that psychological control. To keep you from falling prey, to keep you from going back to it, and honestly, and to be straight up with you, a lot of people who are abused are in denial.
Yes.
They're in denial that you understand what I'm saying. If anything, it's like, okay, it's like, look, girlfriend, you need to get out of that relation. Oh, he's not that bad. He doesn't treat me that bad.
It's not gonna hurt me.
It's, yeah, he's not going to know. It's not, no. And that's the denial aspect of it. How do you break that denial? Well, that's where the support comes in. For those people who love you and those people who are connected to you, don't accept the isolationism of your friend and your loved one. Impose yourself. Go up, knock on the door and say, hey, I'm here. I'm here to check on you, whatever, whatever, visit, and continue to impose yourself. Because if you don't, then what's going to happen is that loved one of yours is going to fall prey, to that isolation, to the psychological abuse and the physical abuse. And ultimately, one day you're going to hear about them being in the hospital.
Or dead.
Yeah.
My goodness. Big man, when you put it in that context, like the vivid picture is like crazy. How do you do that? Also, we do have some people who ask the question, what are some of the ways that a loved one can go about to support a victim of abuse when the victim is refusing help?
Well, that's it's interesting that you say that, and because, see, one of the thing is that first of all, you have to take the wool from over their eyes. Okay, and in order for you to take the wool from over their eyes, there are millions and millions of examples in which you can put before them, as graphic as you possibly can,
Yeah.
whether it's pictures and photos or whatever. This is what happens. You understand, saying to you in circumstances like that. This is what happened to the lady who lived next door. This is what happened to, the lady who lived down the street from me. This is what happened, to a friend of mine. You understand what I'm saying? This is what happened, to a story that I've read about, whatever, whatever. The pictures are there. They're graphic. Don't limit yourself to allowing, a person who's refusing, you understand what I'm saying, who's in denial. You understand what I'm saying? In other words, we're not going to sugarcoat.
Hmm.
Okay? We're not going to dance around them. We're going to continue to tell it like it is. Okay, let them know that their refusal is a form of denial. you know Let them know that their refusal is a form of psychological abuse. Let them know that this person has a hold on them, and this is the result of them having a hold on you, that you cannot think for yourself, that you are in refusal because your love and your connection. It's almost as if you're confused, and you're confused, number one, by the fact of what real love is. You think real love is having someone beat the shit out of you? You understand what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but that's not real love. And so
That-
the thing is that you don't dance around them because they're in denial, or they're refusing, and you sure as hell don't give up on them. Stay at it. Stay at it, stay at it, stay at it. And the reason why I say stay at it is because at some point in time, they're going to receive that punch, and it's going to hurt really goddamn hard. And then that realization is going to open their eyes, like a whirlwind. It shouldn't come to that. And we definitely don't want it to come to that. But by law, don't give up on them.
Most definitely. So, I mean, like, man, big man, you said something that hit me to the core, like showing them the graphic,
Mhm.
and a video of a situation that happened, or like newspapers clips and pictures of victims that had done the same thing that they in the path of doing, and they end up being killed, right?
Mhm.
And their partner, they say the same thing, they love them and stuff. So it's like that's something, when a victim is refusing help, that as loved ones, we can, those are the steps we can take to help them. I mean, that is powerful. I love it. That's a really great information to have. And also not giving up on them,
Yeah,
because
you definitely don't want to do that, because that would isolate them further. You understand what I'm saying? And that would give them no outlet. Once they see that there is an outlet, that's not going to give them any outlet. If you just say, what the hell with you? You want to be abused? You go ahead and boom, I wash my hands with you. Don't wash your hands with them. Don't give up on them. Stay at it. Stay the course with them, and always let them know that they have a place, with you. And because, like I said, it's going to come with time to whereas, in situations of abuse, it only gets worse. It doesn't get better. It
that's
doesn't get better in nowhere circumstances, because you have one person who's in control. You understand what I'm saying? And they feed off of that control, and they're going to continue to increase the amount of control. Okay. And that in itself goes along with increasing the abuse, and it only gets worse.
That's right. Thank you, big man. In
Mhm.
terms of, domestic violence, there is another, emotions that plays a major part in it, and also go into toxic relationship, or like, marriages. Anger management is something that a lot of men and some females as well have anger, but the men, most of them, it gets dangerous. uh what can you give a brief description of how toxic relationship will look like, and what it can lead to victims who do not seek help, and what can be done to prevent it?
Well, one of the things that I've stated in talking about domestic violence, one of the things that I clearly stated is verbal abuse.
Mhm.
Verbal abuse, and when you're in marriages and you're in relationships, no, there's no hitting and fighting that's going on, but the verbal abuse is toxic. It's very toxic, and it's the it's one to whereas you have one who's more verbal than the other when it comes to the abuse, with the yelling and the cursing and the screaming. For some people, they feel that that's how they express themselves. This is, well, look, you're gonna have to forgive me. This is how the hell I express myself, and I don't care whatever have you. You
That's
have those who express themselves that way because they're inebriated. They had one too many drinks or whatever, so their voice octave goes up. The cursing becomes more frequent, and boom, and all can be because of something minute,
Yeah,
something small. So verbal abuse is very, very toxic, in a marriage, in any type of relationship. The anger, the rage, the yelling, and the screaming, and it's even more toxic if the kids are present in the household.
most
You know,
definitely, because
because
you molding them, and with emotional abuse, it just escalate into that, and then the psychological follows, right?
and that rage and that anger and that verbal abuse, it stems from a lot of things. It can be from, it comes from all angles. I mean, it can occur because of finances, in marriages, folks, who are not sitting down, to budget together, to work out the finances together, to be honest about the finances together, what, coming in on my part, what I'm doing, and boom, and the expectations. It's like when you plan and you sit down and you do things financially, as a married couple, it doesn't leave room, for the anger and the yelling and the screaming and the cursing, because you're at a communication level to where there's an understanding of what's expected of me, what's expected of you, what I'm able to do, and what I'm able to give. And so when you do that, particularly when it comes to finances in the household and budgeting the household,
Mm-hmm.
unconditionally, you're doing it unconditionally. You're not doing it because, hey, I make more money than you, and this is what I do, and this is what I do, and you don't do a damn thing. All you do is sit around here and do this, and you do that and do that. When that person that you're saying all they do is sit around here, you don't know what it's like to maintain a household.
Mm.
And so for any woman who gives birth to children, who's maintaining the household, who's also working and also contributing her step of the way financially, and then she's cooking and she's doing all that, that takes on so many different jobs.
That's
Whereas as a man, you need to shut your damn mouth and you need to follow lead, from her. Don't take the dominant role. Oh, I'm the man and I'm making more than you and I'm doing this. Because even though you may be making more, or she may be making more. In your particular case, you're going to work and you're coming home, and she's taking care of your ass and the household and everything
mm,
else.
mm, mm, mm.
So you really, really have to be mindful, of, for me, I'll use myself as a personal example. My wife is my queen, and I treat her as my queen. Even in instances to whereas, I'm not going to be like gender biased, but ladies, sometimes you know how to push your man's button. Okay, you know how to push your man's buttons, and when my wife does that, she doesn't do it because, okay, she can or she knows how. It's just like sometimes it's like, look, babe, and for me, I don't use that as an opportunity to curse and to yell and to scream. If anything, I just shut up and I'll be like, look, give that look. It's like, look, I'm not even gonna go there with you.
Do you take walks at times?
If it's necessary, for me, my walk is cleaning. It's finding something to clean, finding something in the house to fix, or whatever have you, because I have to do that. Because number one, I have kids in my home.
Mhm.
And so it's not helpful for them to see us argue and to fight and to yell or whatever. Now, trust and believe, like I said, using myself as an example, that's a learned experience. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? I wasn't always, my wife is a firecracker. You know, at first, in first instances, my thing, look at, you want to curse and you want to go off and you want to yell and scream, I can do it, and I can do it at a higher level than you can. But at the same time, it's ugly.
Mhm.
Ugly, when you have kids present, they become silent and docile or whatever. And so for me, it's like, look, that's got to change.
That's
That's
right.
change. So, my way, you understand what I'm saying? And, look, adapting and changing, we're not perfect. Okay. We all can do it. We can do it gradually. We can do it in an instant. For me, it had to be done in an instant because I am the most coolest, calmest, collective person. But I got married. I found out that my wife can push my buttons.
I know. I was surprised because big man, you always like together, like you don't say much, right?
Yeah. You know,
Um, and just a simple look, because you always have those little conversation
sure,
with
sure.
people at your free time. So it's like you use that to build a really healthy relationship with everybody around you.
And,
So
and
when one is not doing what they're supposed to be doing or embarrassing themselves outside in public, from preteens all the way up, you just look, give a simple look, and they will know, okay, I'm not doing something right. And then if they're doing something that is require positive encouragement, you give thumbs up,
Yeah.
for the person to know, say, you are fully aware of what's happening. You just giving them encouragement, to continue to do what they're doing. And then if you feel that the situation is going to escalate, I don't know if you have say sense, because you'll be quick and be right there with the person, ask for the person to go for a walk and stuff. And you said something that I love, that your wife is your queen,
Yeah.
in terms, and then at times, if necessary, you go for walk, or you just don't say nothing.
Yeah. I don't.
When it comes to our community society, most Ghanaian men, right, what they do is that, like, some of them will use that instances to go outside their marriage,
Oh no,
and
no.
some of them says that men don't cheat, because our society and culture tradition gives, practice polygamy.
Okay.
So but they don't get married to two women or three women, but they have one wife plus having side chicks, or mistresses. That's their way of saying, say, the culture gives them that ample room to do that. What are your thoughts about that?
My thoughts is, well, I'm not, first of all, my wife is Ghanaian, and me, I've been born and raised in Harlem,
Mhm.
and
New
um,
York.
you know, and our relationship, just continues to blossom, so, and you're right. Like I said, my wife is my queen, and I say to a lot of men, who have this polygamous, innate, attitude or whatever have you, is that when you got married to your wife, one of the things that you didn't do, and one of the conversations that you did not have, is that you didn't have that conversation. Look, I'm a polygamous type. You understand?
That's right. They don't have that.
I like to be with more than one woman. And I'm flirtatious, and you and I are getting married. You're gonna be, my number one queen, but I'm gonna have a lot of, other little queens, that I go and sleep with and do all that, on the side. You don't have that conversation before you get married.
That's
So
right.
why the hell are you going to do your wife the disservice,
Mm, mm, mm.
of after you've gotten married? Now this is the way that you're going to be. How dare you? You
Amen to
understand?
that.
And it's like the gall and the audacity, for you to even, put me, you understand what I'm saying, put in a situation to whereas you love me, I'm your number one woman, you understand what I'm saying, you're all that I have, I'm your soulmate, and boom. And then all of a sudden, as soon as we get married, you understand what I'm saying, you fucking Mary Jane, Sue, and Sally. It's
That's
like,
right. I'm loving that. Yo, big man, give it to them.
it's like I don't get it. You understand? If you're gonna be honest from day one. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? And if you're gonna be honest to the extent of, okay, well, this is how I am. You understand what I'm saying, from the beginning, and I'm okay with you fucking John, Tim, and George.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because see, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You have a lot of women, who are flirtatious. You have a lot of women who like, to have, relationship with more than one man. You understand what I'm saying? So if that's the type of man you are, well then marry the type of woman that's the same damn way.
I keep saying that, if you are cheating, you put like the cheating association. So you both can, go back and forth, but it doesn't happen in such manner. And then big men, our men turns around. Some of them, or most of them, turns around and says, "Hey, it's not okay for a female to cheat on their husbands, but it's okay because of the polygamous thing, because of their limited understanding. It's okay for men to go out and have multiple partners, but it's not okay to for their wives to do the same thing." And then I asked that myself the question, or like, wants men to respond. Do female have water running their vein, or we have the same type of blood? Like the color of blood running through our vein. Like most of our men talks to us, oppress us, like we not as important. The only thing that we good at is just giving sex. Like we sex objects, right? So it's like if my wife don't give me allow me to have sex with them, to hell with her. I'm just gonna go out because someone is willing to give it to me. That's the attitude.
And for that particular attitude, one of the things I say is, why did you get married?
Oh, thank you, big man.
It's like, why did you get married? Because I'm confused. You want to be in a situation to where you're married and have someone to love and to be there for you through thick and thin, and then at the same time, you understand what I'm saying, you want to be out there and you want to be, like I said, you want to extend your loins and have this one and that one and that one and that one. I'm confused. You want your cake and you want to eat it too. And it's like, okay,
They want both.
it's like you got to make up your mind. And the way that you make up your mind is being honest from the beginning.
That's right. Well,
Be honest from the very beginning. Because
let's say that we, as women, we don't want honesty. If they tell us the truth, we will not be receptive to it.
well, at the same time, like I said, there are women who have that mentality to where it's just like, look, you know, um, okay, I'm into that. Okay, I'm into having whatever, and boom, I'm still gonna be there for you. I'm still gonna love you, whatever. I appreciate your honesty, but just know, if it afford me the opportunity. You understand, when you're not around, you understand what I'm saying, that my long-term high school boyfriend, who I'm still in love with, who I've never given up on, if he comes through town, it's going to be me and him, and we're going to get busy as well. So if you can accept all of that, with the pure honesty, well, then fine, let's make it rock, and then we'll rock that way. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? But don't be a hypocrite. Please.
Oh, shoot. You said it, the word. The hypocrisy is like all over. Big man, crisscross man, so my baby sister, the queen, she said some people don't want to share their men or women with anyone, but for them, it is good to share themselves with others. Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's just simply sick, right? You telling me it's not okay for me to have extra on the side, but for you, it's okay to have extra on the side. They don't think about all the diseases out there. How, like, I just don't know. I big men, sometimes I feel like some of them have mental issues. They need psychological evaluation because
Well, remember what we said. We began by talking about what's toxic. You
yes,
know what I'm saying? Having the mentality to, whereas, you're married to someone, but at the same time you want to do shit on the side, that's toxic.
most definitely.
That's toxic. That creates, a whirlwind of arguing and fighting and the whole nine yards, because it's not the premise in which you got married on.
That's right.
And if it's not the premise, and we can work through a lot of things. You understand what I'm saying? But when you afford the opportunity for toxicity, you
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying, to come and breach, the boundaries of your home. You understand what I'm saying? By going outside, and thinking, that you're going to sleep with this one and that one, and it's not going to get back home to your wife. You got to be kidding me. Because, see, I'm going to tell you something about women, okay? When a husband puts his penis into another vagina,
Mhm.
trust and believe that wife is going to know. She
Mhm.
is going to know the next time she touches it, the next time she smells it, the next time she boom, the next, and she'll look at it and she'll be able to tell you, God damn it, who the hell you been sleeping with? You know,
Exactly.
so you may not think she doesn't know. You understand what I'm saying? You may think she has no idea or she has no clue. You understand what I'm saying? Until you feel that hot grits going over your goddamn head.
Oh shit! Big man, We have a question from our knowledgeable sister, Sage Williams. She says, what are your thoughts on open marriage?
If your marriage wasn't open before you got married, then keep it closed.
Oh, shit. As simple as that. Don't bring trouble and problems into your marriage.
If it wasn't, if you guys didn't get married, in openness, and it wasn't openness, y'all wasn't swinging and all doing all that before you got married, keep it closed, please. Please keep it closed.
Can that be like, a person trying being greedy and selfish? Because like when they were not married, they didn't have no open nothing. But then, they get married, they want to introduce that into the marriage.
Why are you going to introduce something into your marriage that wasn't there before you got married?
Some big man, I'm just speaking from, some the levels of people's understanding in our community and society. Some Ghanaian men will say, at the time, no, we are now married. I wasn't married before. When I wasn't married, I was able
So now I'll give you an example. So now, okay, we're married now. So I have this lady, you understand what I'm saying? And I'm going to bring her in and we're going to have a threesome because you're married now. Are you fucking kidding me? Excuse me. Are you kidding me? You got to be serious, yo.
Pastor P, welcome.
It's like, I mean, come on. It's like, look, first and foremost, I tell folks this all the time. Okay. We're talking about marriage. We're not talking about being together and boyfriend and girlfriend. We're talking about marriage. Sacred. Hello. The key word is sacred. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? Marriage is a sacred bond. You understand what I'm saying? Between two individuals, not three individuals, not four individuals, not five individuals. It's a sacred bond and it's a union, entrusted by the Lord. If any, above all, hey, you got to respect that. Where's the respect for it?
Um, mm, mm, mm.
You understand what I'm saying? So when you are in a a marriage is, first of all, is not even a relationship. It's a marriage. A relationship is a relationship, and a marriage is a marriage. It's a bond, it's a sacred bond between two people. You understand? Under the oath and guise of the Lord.
Hmm.
So it's like, come on. What you can't look. Let me say something to people. Try all of those things before you get married. And
Yeah.
if the two of you are comfortable with that, then proceed and go ahead. You understand what I'm saying? Then you have those folks who says, okay, well, I've been with my wife, we've been together, for 5 years. I want to try new sexual positions, I want to try new things, and I want to do that. Have a conversation with your wife about it. Don't just assume and say, okay, well, okay, my wife is not willing to do this, so I'm going to go out and I'm going to find, someone, who's great at giving head or having anal sex or whatever have you. You understand? Don't do that. Have a conversation with your wife first. You understand? Because she might be willing to try some things with you.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people in our community society, um, you know, don't think outside that. I always be using an example of, having a box. Big man, you and most of our knowledgeable viewers and friends, listeners, knows that a box have four corner. But a lot of people in the Ghanaian community, they always be using one corner of the box, forgetting that there are three other options, right? So if you are in a relationship or are married to such person, how you expecting that person to step outside their comfort zone when they can't even utilize the space that they have, the opportunities, the options that they have? Because when you trying to support them or get them to like grow, their response with you will be, I was not raised like that. I was never thought like that. I like the way that I am. So it's like, closed mindset. They don't want to do anything, grow at any point where the world is changing. They want to stay the same way and utilize the same old fashioned crap.
Okay. Look, I respect tradition and I honor tradition. Okay. But change is inevitable.
Thank you.
It is going to happen.
One
It
way or the other.
it's going to take place. I understand if you still like listening to the music from the 1910s and the 1920s, but a lot of music has been made since the 1910s and the 1920s. I understand that, we as a people, um, a lot of people want to hold steadfast, to, the ways of tribalism, and growing up, in the tribe, in the cultures and the days of old.
That's
I
right.
get it. I understand. But at the same time, you have to remember we are not living in those days.
That's right.
Okay. And because of the fact that we're not living in those days, there is a level of acceptance that you have to open yourself up to. You understand? Saying trust and believe. If I was to go into a church, okay, I grew up, my mom in the church. If I was to look at those old pictures of people in the church and you see how they're dressed in their suits and their ties and the
Change.
long dresses or whatever. If I walk into a church today, I'd be like, whoa.
Oh Lord. Do I have my glasses on right?
You understand what I'm saying? So the outfits have changed. You see a little bit more cleavage today than you
Yeah,
did back in the day. And it's like, whoa, the tight dresses and the boom. And some people are even dressed casually. You
that's right.
understand? Some churches, hey, come as you are. So if you got on sneakers and jeans, and boom, you got people in sneakers and jeans, and they're in the church. So the thing is, the church is a traditional form and way of celebrating the Lord by week. So we still go to church, we still respect the tradition. However, we evolve in ways in which we may go to church, the way that we dress, and whatever. So think we evolve. So look, I'm not saying to just do away with tradition or whatever have you, okay, but if my ancestors from long ago, my great 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 grandfather, you know from back in 1700s, if he had three wives and whatever, okay, then fine, that was you back then. But today, guy, look, I respect marriage. It's just as sacred as it was long ago, but I afford myself to just my queen.
Awesome sauce. That's what's up. And Sister said, William said, thank you for your response regarding the open marriage
Oh,
thing.
you're welcome, you're welcome.
Yeah, yeah. Pastor P, I'm afraid you are welcome. All right, big man, like oh my gosh. In terms of like there are like so much that I feel that some of us, right? We just settle for less, right? And just make even things that are not normality, because a lot of people, like, they are more receptive to societal influence than their own. I mean, you and I both know that self is like everything. Everything stands on self. If you don't work on yourself, if you don't love yourself, if you don't build your self confidence, have self discipline, or like, just do self everything to make yourself stronger and also build your emotional and psychological strength, whereas you utilizing your own brain. A lot of people cannot function without somebody directing them, right?
Mhm.
I, was- I keep, in most Ghanaian society, there's a lot of that. People cannot function without someone directing them. And then a lot of people cannot function because they are expecting their partners, their parents, the government, everyone to save them from their problems. They themselves don't want to work on that. A lot of people want to enjoy your hard work money because you in abroad, right? Or
Mhm.
because you have money. So it's like, what is your thought in that when someone don't want to build themselves up, but they want to enjoy other people's luxuries?
I say grow up. I
Thank
say
you.
grow up, and I say, you know, it's time to start acting mature, because see, that's the mentality of a child. A
That's right.
child is used to, living, I mean, you're a child, you have to depend on your parents, to take care of you. You have to, for them to feed you, to clothe you, to take care of you. Why should you want to do anything? And you literally don't have to because you're a child.
That's
So
right.
with that child mentality and whatever have you, you have so much that you're dependent upon from your parents. It's natural. Well, my thing is, as you get older, you understand that whole natural thing, you need to grow out of it. Stop being a baby, stop being a freeloader, stop being a leech roach, as I call some people, because some people are leech roaches. They will leech off of you, they will
Yeah.
squander in your household, and they won't get up off the couch. They'll eat your food and they'll do all of that. And some of them may be your 30-year-old or 40-year-old child. It's like, just don't want to leave the nest. Get your ass out and do for yourself. Learn some sense of responsibility. Okay.
Mm.
Because see, I'm gonna tell you something. When you get into that rut to where you can't get out of depending upon people, you'll never be good to anyone because you're not good to your darn self.
Oh hell! Oh gosh! Bam, 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 bam. Brother Isaac Amwania Mwakaba, welcome. Uh, Pastor Patient or Edward said, "You are awesome, and you talk like a well-groomed son of kingdom, and God bless your heart."
Thank
So
you.
I
Thank
just want to make sure that you receiving that. Big man, you said something, and that's something that I am so like big on. It gets me so annoying.
you. Mhm.
Uh, Most of our people, right? Um, they tend they tend to give a lot of excuses, reasons, and blaming game, just to avoid taking accountability, enable foolishness, nonsense. Like you have some family members who will cover up an abuser's poor behavior, you know, um, domestic violence, and also how you may call it, uh, rape and so many other things because they want to save family names, right? And you ask yourself, why would they do that? Because the person who is being traumatized is not as equally important as the monster that they kind of like grooming within the family or like in the society. And it just baffles my mind. Why is that? Because I just don't get it, especially within Africans,
Well, it's not only in Africans, it's among a lot of African Americans here in this country as well. Because see, you have it's called, nobody wants to put their dirty laundry out
nowadays.
on the line to dry. You know what I'm saying? And the bottom line is, and I tell people this, I said, if you do not put your dirty laundry out to dry, what's going to happen is there are a lot of people and there are a lot of things that you could have prevented by doing so. And in the fact that you didn't do it, you understand what I'm saying? That incest is a big thing. You
That's
know, in a lot of families, and people keep it on the hush hush, and they don't want to talk about Uncle so and so who's been watching his young niece or whatever have you, and she spent the night at his house, and he took advantage of her and whatever have you, and say, oh, you were too flirtatious around him, you shouldn't have been like that, and they try to sweep it up under the rug.
right.
Bullshit. His ass needs to be locked up and he needs to be in jail. Plain
That's
and simple. It doesn't matter to whether it's my uncle or your uncle or whoever uncle. He needs to be locked up and he needs to be placed in jail. And I'm going to tell you why. Because see, people keep it under the rug until it knocks on their door and it hits them at home. You understand what I'm saying? So you got this person, who, because he's a family member, but he's a known freaking rapist. Okay. But when it turns out that you find out that you're asking your daughter why is she crying, and she says she's crying because when she went so and so and so, Uncle so and so raped her, that's when it hits home. Could have been prevented if
right.
you aired out your dirty goddamn laundry.
Amen to that. So that's a lesson we all need to learn. Just because it hasn't happened to your daughter, your son, or someone closer to you, it's your someone within the family, you don't say nothing. We need to make sure that we holding people accountable. We're not enabling foolishness. We need to set clear boundaries. What is allowed, what is not allowed.
And look, the bottom line is hell. You know, last time I remember, there's a thing called morals and
Oh,
there's a thing called values.
a lot of
You
them.
understand what I'm saying? There is a standard line for morals. There is a standard line for values. There are things that you just do not do. And no matter who you are, you understand what I'm saying? I'm not one of those people who's going to vote for you because you're black.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to vote for you based on your morals and your values and the standards and what you stand upon.
That's
You
right.
have a black person, you got a white person, and they're standing together, and that black person has morals and values that are just corrupt. God damn it, I'm not voting for them.
Oh boy, big man, we got to come and talk about that because me, most Ghanaian people need to hear that when it comes to politics, it don't matter if their party is corrupt; they're still going to vote for that person because
There
they
is
pull
there
them
is
syndrome,
line.
propagandas.
There's a line of morals and values, okay, which we as human beings, you understand, it's supposed to be innate. And the last time I remember, everybody knows the difference between what's right
And what's
and what's
wrong?
wrong. You understand what I'm saying? I am not going to sit here and condone what's wrong because you're my relative, because I'm
Exactly.
close to you. If anything, I'm going to pick up the phone and say 911, boom, boom, boom. He's here. He's in my house. I'm not harboring him. I know what he did. He's here. Come and get him.
Hmm.
And if I don't do that, then I'm going to walk them to the precinct myself.
Exactly,
You
because
know,
they have morals.
I'm not going to sit there and condone it. I'm not. There's no way that I can. What you did is wrong.
Hmm.
You can't live by those standards. You can't walk by those standards and think you're going to hold your head up high in my presence. Oh, no, no, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. Once again, hypocrisy. I'm not
Yeah,
condoning hypocrites. I can't
yeah.
condone
Chris,
hypocrites.
Chris Cross said earlier. Hypocrite. So big man, our time is flying, so let me just hurry up. Um, how can greed, lack of effective communication, accusation, lack of supportive partner, unfaithfulness, assumptions cause good marriage to collapse?
Well, first of all of those things that you mentioned, will cause a marriage to collapse. Number one. You understand what I'm saying? Number two is, look, we have to be able to, it's beyond effective communication. We have to be able to call a spade when it creeps its ugly head the first time around.
That's right.
Okay, when we see a cockroach or we see a water bug crawling on our wall, we'll kill it instantly. You
That's right.
understand? So when we even get the slightest inclination of any one of those things, you understand what I'm saying? If it's greed, you understand what I'm saying? Greed is simply, look, I gave you money, or we agreed that this money is for something X, Y, and Z, and I look into our joint bank account and there's $10 there.
Where did the money go?
Where the hell did the money go? You understand what I'm saying? Now, if there's receipts and there's justification for something that's going to benefit our household, and you didn't want to tell me because of whatever, whatever, or maybe I would have said no, you understand what I'm saying? But it was the right thing and it worked itself out, and boom, okay, I get that. But do me a favor, motherfucker, the next time you better tell me. You
That's right.
keep me in the loop, excuse my language, but don't have me
With you.
assuming or thinking all the wrongs. You understand what I'm saying? We're in this together. Keep those open lines of communication, and when that negativity, because all those things that you mentioned are negative aspects of
That's
things.
right.
So when those negative aspects of things creep their ugly head, don't wander about them. Okay, don't think about them and don't let them pass. Hit it head on. Excuse me, what was that? You understand? So I don't. No, 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 no. We got to talk about this here. You know
Mhm.
what's going on here? Put it on the table. Put your cards on the table, and don't let it continue. Now,
That's
if it continues and then it develops a pattern. You understand what I'm saying? Fool me once, okay. Fool me twice, fool me a third time, then I'm a damn fool, and I'm not planning on being no
I'm
fool.
not going for the third time, big
No,
man.
no,
You
I'm
know.
not. I'm not. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not. I'm not. Like I said, I'm not even gonna let it. So that's what I. And that's my point. Don't even let it get past you the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Because look, I'm sorry. Sometimes we don't always get it right. We don't always marry the right people.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. We find out, this is what happens. I'm going to give you what happens. What happens is we meet in a relationship, all those things we like.
Funny, dovey
It's
stuff.
lovey, it's great. You
You're
understand?
not living with the person.
We get married, we boom, and then we move in together, we live together, and now those differences start to creep up. Okay. You learning my differences, I'm learning your differences. And look, we just don't mesh on the differences.
Mm-hmm.
So we meet, we fall in love on all the likenesses. We get married because we like. Then we move in together, and then the differences come into play.
Ugh,
And we don't know how to handle them. Communication ain't working. This ain't working. It ain't working. You understand? So you're just a nasty son of a gun, and boom, and I like a clean house. You understand? It's like the differences are not meshing at all.
that's right.
And then here we go. Okay, well, our culture says that we have to stay married and boom and blase. We whatever, whatever. I get it, but I am not succumbing. Yes, I made a mistake. We
Mm-hmm.
made a mistake. Okay, we're not, no, okay. And then here's the kicker. Here's the other kicker. Okay, we can stay married, but we can't live together, yo, because our differences is just too.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so if your marriage works and you're both under different roofs and you love one another and it thrives and it's boom, then fine. You understand? So that's great. But you have to accept things, the reality of things. And the reality of things is like, look, we fell in love off of likenesses. We got married off of likenesses. But in the look, moving in together just ain't working. And I don't like you, yo. It's like I love you, but I don't like you anymore. I don't like you.
That's crazy.
It's okay to accept the fact that you didn't get it right.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? It's like, look, I understand you want to be able to sleep with three other people. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not ready for that. You understand what I'm saying? So, look, I appreciate you coming to me and letting me know that this is something you want to do before you did it. Thank you. And you're telling me you're going to do it anyway. Thank you. But I'm not into that. I'll love you, boom, friends. We can boom, friends, the best of friends, but we can't stay married under these conditions. I
That's right.
understand the cultures. I respect the cultures. But what I'm not going to accept is being married to you and you're going out with the Jane and the Sue and the Mary, and I got to stay with you because our culture and our tradition says that I must stay with you while you're doing all this.
That's right.
And not only that, you're taking our money to spend on Jane, Sue, and Mary.
Exactly. So such disrespectful behavior.
So I get it. I get it. Look, to rid ourselves of all of those things that's not right in our marriage. If it doesn't work, if you guys are better friends when you're not married and you get along better by not being married, accept it and go
Yeah.
with it.
Go your separate ways.
Let me
You're
tell you,
right.
stress kills people.
Yeah.
It gives you a heart attack, it gives you stroke. You understand? It's a silent killer.
That's right.
High blood pressure, the whole 9 yards.
That's right.
If you're going to succumb to a marriage that's just not right in all ways that are wrong, then you're going to kill yourself silently and slowly.
I call it foolish stuff, in terms of. So, big man, being that you were man, I have to ask this question, even if I don't get to ask all the questions I have in my mind. This one day, I have to ask for it. Dr. Joe Kinsley, welcome. Um, can you identify some of the difficulties men struggles with in relationships and marriages?
You say difficulties. When you say difficulties, In what way? I mean, there can be a lot of difficulties in which we struggle. There could be sexual difficulties because now, I'm reaching the age of
We
50.
hit there. The sexual, the teamwork,
Okay.
the lack of transparency. And then we have some men, they say, they're not born to talk, right? So,
Okay. Look,
they don't know how to.
I have the perfect thing to this in
Thank you.
all realms and ramifications. First and foremost, look, if you, there's a point and a time and a line towards you got to sit the gender on the side.
Hmm.
You have to sit the gender on the side. Because I'm a woman, this is supposed to be. Because I'm a man, that this is supposed to be. You have to put that aside. And reason why I'm saying that is, look, if there is a day in my household to where my wife is not feeling well,
Hmm.
if it could be like a week that she's going through, a menstrual cycle is giving her cramps that are more painful than usual, then I'm in that kitchen cooking. I'm taking those clothes to the laundromat and I'm washing those clothes. I'm making sure that my son, his clothes get ironed or whatever, taking him to school or whatever, and I'm giving my wife those massages, rubbing her feet, getting her and taking care of her. You understand what I'm saying? Not because, oh, well, a man's not supposed to be doing this and he's not supposed to be doing that. No, 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 no. Because if there's ever comes a day to where your wife is no longer on this planet,
Hmm.
you're gonna have to take care of yourself.
That's right.
Okay, because you might, and if you think that you're gonna go and get that Jane who's gonna take care of you, she may take you for everything that you're worth.
That's right.
You understand? She may not take care of you the way that you think she should or would want to. You understand? So with that, you got to put the gender aside sometimes. You got to put it on the back burner, because, like I said, because I'm a man, I'm supposed to be doing this, and because you're a woman, you're supposed to be doing this. No, you understand? And there in my marriage or whatever, my wife will put up the hood of our car and she'll go on there, she'll jingle that battery, and she'll make sure that it's working. You understand what I'm saying? Not because she's gonna wait until I get home to take a look at it. No, no, no. Car's acting funny. Boom. She'll call me. Hey, babe, what are you? Boom. That's it. So it's not because, oh, well, you're not supposed to be a mechanic looking up under the hoods of cars because you're a woman. No, no. My wife knows how better than I do.
Mm,
You
mm,
understand what I'm saying? And so it's like, if it comes to a point in time, you understand what I'm saying, whereas what's needed and what's necessary, you understand what I'm saying, then that's what you go with. You
that's right.
understand? Not because, oh, I'm this or I'm that. There are things,
Welcome, everyone. Hmm.
fellas, that we need to learn to accept as men. You understand what I'm saying? And what we need to accept as men is that our wife is not behind us.
Hmm.
She's not beneath us. You understand? She's not to do what I say.
Hmm.
No. You understand? It's all about working together, walking together, side by side. You
That's right.
understand? Making it work side by side.
Hmm.
It's all about that scale. That scale can't be tipped. You understand what I'm saying? And if it does tip or it falters in any kind of way, then you put that counterweight on it to bring it back into balance.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? You cannot tip the scale. It's not, oh, because I'm a man, I'm supposed to be. It's not whatever. And accept the fact that we all go through natural changes as men and women. Okay, because see, once you turn 55 as a man, you understand, sir, or 50 as a man, your penis ain't gonna work like it was when you were 17 years old.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? But you can bet your sweet behind that your wife ain't gonna go out and cheat on you. You
That's
know,
right.
if anything, you understand she's going to try to communicate with you. You understand what I'm saying? Because see, and you don't need Viagra, all that old medical stuff. Go the natural route. You
That's
understand what I'm saying? There's a thing called your pubopsychosis muscle. It's that muscle that flexes when you pee. Well,
yeah.
then you start exercising that muscle at least 500 times a
Hmm.
day, not peeing. You understand what I'm saying? And it'll help your penis get the way you want it to get. In addition to that, there's a lot of natural herbs, you understand, and things that you can use. You understand what I'm saying? Make tiger nuts your best friend. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? And things of that nature, whatever. Get in tune with your body. Begin to exercise a little bit more. You understand what I'm saying? Because remember, the penis is a muscle. So if
yeah.
you're exercising all the other muscles, what do you think's going to happen to that one down there?
It's gonna go.
You understand what I'm saying? So exercise a little bit more, fellas. Look, let's not fake the funk. Let's not be afraid to talk about what is. Okay? Don't sit back there and think that you cannot have a conversation with your wife. You understand? Saying, look, baby, look, I'm not into it today. Well, it ain't acting right. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Mhm.
That's one person you do want to talk to. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, but you're going to go out there and try to get married to get it up and get it hard or whatever, whatever. Cheat on your wife and do all that when it still ain't working right. You understand what I'm saying?
People want your money, so if you go out and it doesn't work right, they're still going to make it feel like you're doing the right thing. But like, come on, baby, yes,
And
yes,
then,
and then take your money.
at the same time, because we don't want to talk about those things,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
sex
it builds up
conversation.
inside and then it comes out the wrong way.
That's right.
So we definitely don't want that because again, that's ugly. Arguing, cursing, because of the simple fact of saying, well, look, man, I didn't get any, my penis, and then you're gonna sit there and blame it on your wife, talking about, well, she didn't give it to you, blah blah blah. No, tell her your penis ain't acting right and you can't get it up. You understand what I'm saying? Let's be real. Let's
That's
be
right.
real. And at the same time, look, when you want to try all the freaky new things or whatever, whatever, don't try it because you've seen it in a porn movie, please.
Hmm. Yeah.
Don't try it because you watch this and you boom and it's like, oh, I want to try that. You understand what I'm saying?
Bring
No,
your own.
don't do it for those reasons. Do it because you're both curious and you want to explore your relationship and your marriages. And I tell people, look, there are so many ways you can get off as a man or a woman without even going inside the vagina,
That's
without even getting a blow job or getting your vagina eaten or whatever. There's a lot of ways in which you can get off. And as a masseuse, let me tell you something. You understand? If you touch the back of the knees or a certain part on that neck or whatever, man, let me tell you, you'll watch your wife squirm
you
in
were
the
solid.
place.
Go on,
You
baby.
understand? Yeah. So it's like there are so many things that you can explore. You understand? Long before even getting inside the vagina. Even if you take your hand and rub it around the vagina, you'll be amazed what that one little finger will do. You understand what I'm saying? But the bottom line, if you're just wham bam, thank you, man, climb on top of me, and it's
Most
gonna get
of them don't know how to do foreplay, Big Ben.
yeah, it's going to get boring. It's really going to get boring. Look, folks, don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. In conversation and in physicalness, and I'm not just talking about sex. Let's not be look, be open and be willing. It's one of the things. You know what? I tell folks, in a lot of my counseling sessions, you know, one of the most difficult things to do, which is very, very simple, is to apologize.
Ooh, yes, you
Do
just
you know how it's so easy to
nailed it.
argue? It's so easy to fuss. It's so easy just to go off and curse, but it is so hard to apologize.
That's
So
right.
I understand the difficulty in expressing yourself about something as sensitive as your sexual organs. I understand the sensitivity of expressing yourself about, look, babe, that they cut down on my paycheck. I'm not going to be making this much for the next couple of months until we get another contract. It's hard to have those conversations. I get it, just as hard as it is to apologize, but we have to be real.
That's right.
We have to be real, and it goes beyond just open communication. It's putting your cards on the table each and every time without the cursing, without the yelling, without the fussing, but with almost the tears in your eyes. Like, look, this is what it is, yo. And when you do that, you're lifting a whole lot of weight off of your shoulders.
Most
You're
definitely.
releasing a whole lot of stress. It's like an orgasm, too.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? You feel better.
That's right.
You feel better. It's almost like getting the Holy Ghost, and it just makes you so take the time, no matter how difficult it is, to express yourself. Express yourself about those things that we otherwise let build up and it comes out the wrong way.
That's
And
right.
if you did something and it did come out the wrong way, it's okay to apologize.
Yeah. Yeah. Say I'm sorry and
You,
mean it.
well, the meaning comes with this. Anybody can say they sorry, but the first thing I'm going to say is, what are you sorry for?
Exactly.
You understand? I'm sorry because I said this and that and that and this. It came out the wrong way. And, you know, what I really meant to say, and it came out the wrong way because this is bottling up in me. And the last thing I want to do is hurt my wife verbally.
Right. That's right.
That's an apology.
I said that to you, ma. Most
You know,
definitely.
that's how you do it. So let's like I said, let's face the funk. And face the funk is a lot of the simple things in life are not easy.
That's right. Big man, today, hey, Trudy, today your talk has brought Trudy on. Getty, she's here. You see, she said crisscross Mensa, keep enjoying. Oh my God, Sister Dachi Hima Fiasantua Felona, we welcome you. She said, hello, beautiful sister Adwoa Odo, and amazing people watching. Hey, and this is my brother-in-law, Big Man. Yes,
Thank you
he
all.
is
Thank you to you all.
really, really awesome. And then Dr. Joe Kinsley, by the grace of God, I am blessed and grateful. Thank you. Oh, Ochi, oh, Ochi, Openyi Ochi, welcome. Ochi, Veni. Uh-huh. So, big man, I'm enjoying this discussion, Power. We only have less than 10 minutes. So,
I
I'm going
understand.
to ask you two more questions and then we'll
No problem.
conclude. Um, what are some of the core values of teamwork in partnerships?
Well, you know, remember when I said, that, we get married and it's on likenesses
Yeah,
and things of that nature. One of the core values is the fact of accepting that we're not the same people.
that's
You
right.
understand what I'm saying? I again, I mentioned the fact, that my wife is Ghanaian, and I'm Harlem born and raised, and one of the things that I acknowledge is the fact that we have our differences,
That's right.
and the core value to what makes it work is being able to accept, not control,
Hmm.
understand, not dominate, not push my differences to the forefront and saying this is what we're going to do. No, but to accept.
Hmm.
There are days my wife is, she's very and highly religious, and me, I'm ingrained in it. I was born and raised in the church. But there are days to where I don't make it to church. You understand? My wife doesn't hate me for that. You
Hmm.
understand? She understands that there
Receptive.
are days, I work a double shift. And
Hmm.
there are days I work on Sunday and I get off Sunday morning and I'm tired and by the time and booming. So we understand that. She doesn't like look down upon me or whatever. It's a difference.
Respect.
You understand? It's a difference. The same way as I'll put it out there. I'm not afraid to put it out there. I'm what you would consider, freaky. I like to do like, I like, my wife will tell me, what do you want to suck my toe? But I understand, that, my wife is not into all of those things.
Hmm.
I don't go out and cheat on her because she's not into those things.
That's
You
right.
understand what I'm saying? I accept the fact that she's beautiful. She has a lovely body,
Hmm.
and boom, and I can might let my imagination go wild, and
Run.
I, I can also play and have fun in other ways. You
That's right.
understand? I respect that.
She said, please, no, don't bring the freakiness here.
I respect that. So the things that the values and the thing that really makes it work is respecting and understanding what's being said by your spouse.
That's
You
right.
understand what I'm saying? Not pushing your point or pushing your opinion as this is the way it is and this is the way it's going to be.
Hmm.
Because my thing is like I understand that me, like we'll take something like financially. Financially, in my household, it's like for every whatever I get, my wife gets 40%, and it's not because, well, I'm a man and this is where it's supposed to be and blah, and boom. No, it's because of the fact that number one, that's my queen. And number two, it also comes to the fact of something very, very simple. You understand what I'm saying? When my wife puts money aside to save, the world can be falling down, but that money will still be there. You
That's
understand what I'm saying? With me, I'm going to use some of that money to stop the world from falling.
you see, so she hold things and then wow, that's
So,
incredible.
I know that my wife, just something simple, she's better at saving and keeping the savings. So of course, it doesn't matter whether I make more money than she does or not, but the majority, a large portion of what I make goes
It's
to my
going
wife.
to her.
You
That's
understand what I'm saying? Because if there ever comes a freaking time, you understand what I'm saying, for whatever reason that I'm in between jobs or whatever have you, I know my wife's got my back.
oh man, that is a great foundation.
And the reason is because I have her back every day.
That's right.
And so that's the core value. The core value is that scale, once again, keeping it balanced. You understand, Santa? Not tipping it. You don't have to tip it because, oh, I'm a man and this is what the hell I say goes on in my household or whatever have you. Because see, if ever that day comes and you're like handicapped for a couple of weeks, guess who's running the household?
Your wife, you in big trouble.
So, the core values stem from, look, accepting one another differences. You understand what I'm saying? Making one another shine. You understand what I'm saying? In those ways.
Supportive.
It's the small things, it's the simple things that means a lot. It really means a lot. You understand what I'm saying? And that respect, you understand, for each other, is key.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The last question I have for you, big man, is how best can we role model as parents, as wives, as husbands, as mentors, influencers, friends, motivational speakers, as a leader or as a follower?
Let's focus on what's right. Let's focus on right. Let's keep ourselves morally grounded, and let's not be like the crabs in the barrel. That you always have that crab who's trying to crawl out and then the other crab is pulling him back down. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? Let's be those crabs who set ourselves on top of one another so that we can all get out of the barrel.
That's
And doing that is, that's role modeling is something that really comes natural. I tell people that, as an educator, as a teacher, that my lessons that I've learned came from my grandma, came from my auntie, came from my mom, came from all of those people who were older than I was. Okay. Those were my first stories that's been passed down. They rolled modeled for me the morals, the values, the ways of life. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't learn how to wash clothes by watching YouTube. You understand what I'm saying? I washed my grandma with the washboard. You understand what I'm saying? And her whites were the whitest clothes. You understand what I'm saying? I learned how to garden not by taking a class. I learned it by being with my grandma back in the backyard and planting the seeds that are going to grow. So the stories and all of those things that you have, pass it along. Role model, give it to those, not just those who are in your family, but every time you have an opportunity.
pass it along.
Because see, being on the bus and having those teenagers cursing and running and yelling and boom and blase, and me looking at myself, you know what, little one, if your grandma was on this bus, you were not doing that. And the other one saying, yep, he right. So, it's like, yeah. So if you can find the opportunity, you understand what I'm saying, to pass it along, to role model. You understand what I'm saying? Remember, If we are all adults and we're having that event in our house and we're all together having a good time, be mindful that one of you can step aside around the corner to where all the kids are
That's right.
to have fun, to tell a quick story and return to the adults. Because see, at the same time, what you're doing is you're making sure there ain't no stupidity or whatever's going on amongst the kids. You're showing them what it's like when you were a kid. You
Big
understand?
man. Uh,
And
Let's beyond belief says slow down the English because your slang is too fast for hell.
I'm sorry. I do apologize. I do apologize. Sometimes I have to. I just think when I'm on an adult forum, it's a little bit much for me. So I do apologize. But one thing I can say is when it comes to role modeling, it comes from within. It comes from what we've been learned. What we've been taught. Carry that forth. With your marriage, with children, in educating, on your job. Dig deep, bring it out. And share. Sharing is valuable. Okay, having the opportunity to share makes you one of the best role models there is.
Wow, thank you so much, big man, for your time today. And I hope that in the future I'll be able to bring you on every now and then on your day of weekends. Um, from everything that you said today, what do you hope for the viewers and listeners today to take away from today's discussion?
Well, one of the things is that I would say is that I hope that everyone take heeds to my words. My words come from the heart. Again, I mean, on top of the fact that it is a Sunday, you have to pardon, some of my, vulgarity, and language. I have to be mindful that I'm on an adult forum, but at the same time, I have to be mindful that it is, it's a Sunday, and yeah, but in expressing myself only in good way, but aside from that, one of the things that I want you to is to hold steadfast to my words, and the things in which I speak. I speak from the heart. I don't judge and I don't, prejudge or past judge. I just speak from within, and I hope, my words, in any way, will help, to guide, understand something, food for thought, or it's like I said, just something to think about.
That's right. Oh, Sister Blessed beyond belief. The person blowing him kisses is his queen, his wife. So don't worry. Yeah, that's his wife. That's why she's blowing him kisses and love because she's so like super excited and proud of him. So big man, thank you again for your time today. I love you very much,
I love you
and
too.
those who came in later, I call him big man because he's a mentor, he's a counselor, he's a teacher, he's a therapist. He's like basically almost everything. He does massage and stuff. Mentor, he does it for free. Like, if you need some mentoring, or like you going through your children is going through some difficult times, but like counseling and other stuff, he does charge for it. Not everything is free, but the mentor one is free. So I'm just letting you guys know, if any one of you wants to like get in touch with big man, let me know and I will make sure that you able to do that. So I thank every single one of you for joining, all the contributions, the high, and also please go to Chiamie J's wall and wish him a happy birthday because today is his birthday. So I'm going to be celebrating for sure. He does, yeah, massage. The massage, what do you think? He has to charge. He has to charge. Maybe like he will have a package, whereas you will get extra one for free. Oh my goodness gracious. And then when it comes to like men who are having problems performing in their marital bed and stuff like that, big man has tips and um, um, things that he can help you guys, to make your marital bed very enjoyable and stuff like that. Oh, pin his contact details. I was I will send it to you. I will send it to you. Sister Blessed beyond belief. Oh my goodness. All right, we gotta go, guys. So take care of yourself. I'm going to get Big Man to come on every now and then, so we can go. Maybe the next time we will come and he will talk about just sexual activities, some of the things that men and women both can do to, like, um spice up
Sure.
their marital home and stuff like that. So I will send his information to you, or later on when we go off, and I will send it, because Big Ben got to go, and I had some place to be also. So oh, thank you so very much. Oh, Sister Sage Williams earlier, she said that, oh, what did she say earlier? She did say, she said this is educative section, which is very true. And Sister Bless Beyond Belief said, thanks guys, very educative. Bless you. God bless you as well, sis. And
Mm.
we thank each and every one of you. So share the program. This is like, this is one of the reasons why I'm together. I'm always laughing, because when I'm in need, I call Big Man up, like, Big Man, I need to talk to you. Like, you gotta slow me down, because I am pissed as hell. He's like, first and foremost, he loved that. You're going to have to calm down and start from the beginning. So Pastor P, thank you so much. Pastor P said we appreciate his time. God bless him.
God bless
So
you all.
your thing. So Big Man, please don't be a stranger.
I
Come
won't. I
on
won't.
board. All right. And baby says, thank you for giving me this time with hubby. Bye guys.
Love you, sis. I'll talk to you.
Love you too, Big Man. Oh my goodness. I am so happy. Bye guys. Take care of yourself.